Sam here with PT Marketing Unleashed, and today I want to talk about my 2012 physical therapy marketing predictions. And these are things that I observed in the marketing world that I think will help physical therapists that have private practices and clinics, or even any physical therapy business, get a little bit ahead of the curve. So the first thing I want to talk about is online and offline marketing merging. So you've probably seen a lot of stuff online, and we kind of focus our attention online because we think that's where a lot of people are. But the fact of the matter is, there is this relevant offline world that we're neglecting. So having your web info, like your website, Facebook fan page, things like that, you want to put them on your stationery, letterheads, envelopes, postcards, and that way people that receive your information offline can visit you online. So you merge the two. And you probably heard of QR codes. Those are those barcode thingies that you can scan with your mobile device. So now you can place these QR codes on things like your postcards, and maybe some brochures that you have laying around in the lobby of your clinic, and people can scan that with their mobile device, and it'll take them to a web page that has maybe an offer, or maybe you're promoting a seminar, a conference, a workshop, whatever it is. You're taking them offline and you're bringing them into an online world. So QR codes is something I will be talking about on a future blog post, so definitely look out for that. Google Maps. I don't see enough PTs with Google Maps on their websites. People go to your website and they go to contact us. They want to find out how to get to your practice, and there isn't a map there. And what Google Maps does is it allows the user to have an idea of where your practice is located. Once they click on the map, they can get directions by entering their address, and Google Maps will give them step-by-step directions on how to get to your clinic. So you want to make it easy for them so that they don't have to go to other websites to try to input your clinic directions. And also the beauty of Google Maps is they can send that information to their phones so that they can get it on their mobile device. Mobile and local search. We're living in a mobile world. You go to the airport, the hotel, and you just see people constantly on their mobile devices. They're on their iPads, their tablets. So if someone is talking in conversation, they say, "Hey, yeah, I use the PT guy is really great. I think you should use them." And they're right there on their mobile phone, and they want to look you up. Is your website optimized for mobile? Can they look at your website through their mobile device? So I think moving forward in 2012, having some form of mobile strategy is something you should consider. Social media management. So Facebook is huge. It's this 20,000 ton gorilla, I like to call them, but they boast 800 million users, and people are on Facebook every day. And even if you look at some of the updates, people talk about everything, everything that's going on in their lives. And believe it or not, they talk about being in physical therapy and having physical therapy treatment. And some people like to name drop, so they like to say, "Hey, I'm using this physical therapy practice. They're great. I like the staff there." And what would be beneficial to you is having a Facebook fan page, so that way people can kind of come on over, see what this physical therapy practice that their friend is talking about, and at least it keeps you in mind if something happens, or if they know someone that needs physical therapy. So having a Facebook fan page or Facebook marketing strategy, I think, is relevant, even though you do hear some other gurus say that it's not, but I think it is something to consider. LinkedIn is good for individual PTs as individuals, because we can place a lot of our background information there. Things like where we went to school, places that we went to work, some of our certifications. If you're certified in certain things like NDT, things like that, you can put that on LinkedIn, so anyone that's looking you up by name, because people do Google you. If you're working with someone and they don't know you, they're gonna Google you. So one of the things that comes up on Google search is LinkedIn. So you want to have all that information there of all your background, so people can look at you, look at your credentials, and see that you're someone who's reputable. Reputation management, I think what's important is you see a lot of people, they go to these review sites like Yelp, Kudzu, Google Places has some reviews there. And if someone leaves something negative, you have to respond, I think, immediately, because if anyone comes back after that negative review and no one's respond to it, they're going to think, they left a bad comment, they didn't have a good user experience here, no one's kind of responded, I don't know if I want to use them or not. So people are hesitant if they see a lot of negative reviews and no one's responding. So I talk about this in a blog post on how to set up a Google Alerts for your name and your practice to see if anyone leaves anything negative, so that way you can respond within a matter of, I would say 24 hours to 48 hours. If you notice, a lot of the big brands do that. They have a lot of people that they hire specifically to watch and monitor the noise and the conversations about their brand, so that they can respond if someone leaves something negative or if they leave something positive. So something to consider for 2012 for your physical therapy practice. Email marketing, definitely looking at newsletter marketing, special events. If you're hosting like a workshop on injury prevention, back prevention, things like that, you can use email marketing to send to patients that are in your list, or people that follow you that just want information on PT. This is a great way to stay in touch with them and stay relevant in their eyes. Patient-focused content delivery. This is something I think is also important moving forward in 2012. People are looking for information, and it's bad enough people don't know what PT is. They think we give massages. There's so many misconceptions about PT, and there's not enough content out there that educates the public about what it is that we do. So it's up to you, the private practice owner or the PT that's in business, to educate the public that are looking online for information. So you do this through blog posting. And I know a lot of you say, oh, I hate blogging, blogging's not for me. But you can hire someone to get your ideas out on paper. You don't have to do it yourself. You can outsource this information. As long as the ideas and the concepts are yours, you can convey that to whoever you want writing this information for you. Content delivered via mobile devices. So you see like Kindles. I'm starting to see a lot of exercise programs being delivered through mobile devices like Kindles and things like that. Email newsletters is a great way to deliver content. Social media like Facebook, placing things on Facebook fan page so that people can share it with their friends. Putting up YouTube videos on, maybe you talking about something with the background. You can have your private practice in the background. You could be in the gym and talking about certain type of topics related to musculoskeletal dysfunctions or things like that may be of interest to your user base. Podcasting on iTunes, having a show, kind of like a radio show. The podcasting is really just they call it MP3. They use it for the delivered format is MP3, but it's kind of like having like a radio show kind of, and people can download your show through iTunes and you can deliver your content that way. SlideShare presentations, so if you have like a PowerPoint slide, you can upload it to some of the SlideShare sites and have people look at your content that way. So these are some of the things that you can use to deliver content that are patient focused, that can drive traffic to your site. You can educate the public, and people also get to know a little bit more about your practice and learn more about what it is that you do, so that they can say, okay, I like to use this physical therapy practice here, and then they can tell their physician, this is where I want to go. Integration marketing. So I like this type of marketing because it's a little bit out of the box. So it's not something that everyone does. So having your information on like local websites, like small businesses, in your area, they may have a website. You can partner up with them and maybe have a logo there, or maybe write a few articles for them that they can place on their site and have that link back to your site. Writing for local magazines and local papers. There's a lot of local papers. If you go to like a Whole Foods or your grocery store, there's magazines there, and you can get in touch with the editor and see if you can write a piece maybe something related to patient care, injury prevention, whatever it is that you want to talk about, and pick up an audience that way. Mobile apps is something that's going to be huge in the future. Local business directories, getting added to that. Exclusive content for physician websites. So if you have physicians that are local in your area that have websites, maybe some of them have sections where they have education and things like that, and they have articles. Some of them have blogs. You can approach them to write content for those for their websites. That's something that's completely out of the box. I haven't seen anyone done that, and I'm working with someone right now that's doing that with a physician. And that way, when people go to this physician, and it could be an ortho doc, it could be a neurosurgeon, whoever, when people go visit this physician's website, and then they go through their site, and then they go through the content, and they see your content, your article there, they say, okay, what's this? And they read it. Now you have a link that goes back to your site, and they can get to know a little bit more about you. So definitely look at that as ways to be different from the next person so that you stand out. Patient testimonials on video, uploading to sites like YouTube is good. Uploading to your own website, uploading your testimonials to review sites. So you want to get permission from your patient first to see if you can, if they'll allow you to do a video testimonial. But it's a huge way to get social proof, and for other people to kind of feel a little bit at ease that, hey, someone went through this and this was their experience, and it allows other. That was my mobile phone. If you heard that sound, that's just letting me know I got an email. But yeah, patient testimonials is huge, especially if you can get them on video, and just add social proof and reputability to your clinic. You want to leverage your time by outsourcing. So all this may seem overwhelming. I know you guys are so busy, you don't have the time to really do this all. So you want to look at maybe hiring people to outsource some of these things, like maybe building your website, blogging, Facebook, because you're not going to have time to do it all. Definitely, you have to treat patients. That's number one. And then you have to handle your billing, patients, the insurance, and all that other stuff. But you cannot neglect the marketing, because that's what's getting patients in the door. So leveraging your time by outsourcing, using sites like Craigslist, and I'll talk about in a future blog post how to use Craigslist, and outsourcing websites like Elance and Odesk to find people to help you do things like SEO and things like that. So these are my 2012 marketing predictions, things I think you should take into consideration, and hopefully you find some benefit from it. So thanks for watching. If you need more tips on online and offline marketing, definitely visit my blog, ptmarketingunleashed.com. My name is Sam. I'll talk to you guys later.